So I mentioned Bill Belichick. I mentioned him a few times on the show, and I don't think I am overstating this. I think this is something that is hanging over the team this year, and I say it because the Bill Belichick rumors, and of course, for background here, ESPN had a report earlier this year that Jeffrey Lurie spoke with confidants about Bill Belichick. He decided not to pursue him. Howie Roseman spoke to Bill Belichick after Bill Belichick was fired. The conversation was not about the Eagles' job, but it suggested to have a relationship, and that if Bill Belichick wants to get into coaching, the Eagles are very much on Bill Belichick's radar. And so I bring this up for a few reasons. First off, a 6-time Super Bowl winning coach, who's one of the great coaches in football history, is not often available, right? Bill Belichick hasn't been available since 2000. Number one, and then number two, this is not something that like we're talking about, or message boards are talking about, or talk radio is talking about, just to fill time on a July afternoon. This is something that two of the most credible investigative reporters in that cover professional football brought up. So there is a there. And so I was happy to see this question came up to Sirianni. I was going to ask it, but it was asked by someone else. And when this was presented to Nick about how he learned about the Bill Belichick rumors, first he kind of acted like he wasn't that aware of them.
Who?
Yeah. But he said, and I'll read this verbatim. All I really took is that I had Mr. Lurie's trust, Howie's trust, and they said, hey, let's go back and let's do it again. That's all I've thought about. Control what you can control. That's what I've tried to do. I've tried to lead this team like I've always tried to lead this team. And then he goes on and talks about the culture and whatnot. How real do you think the Bill Belichick cloud is? And do you think that's hanging over the Eagles and specifically Nick Sirianni this year?
Boy, I just can't imagine Bill's age and the fact that he's defense-oriented and what happened those last few years in New England. I know Jeffrey, is from Boston, and that the Patriots were this incredible evil empire for so many years, and everyone respected what they did and tried to imitate what they did. But that era is over. That's why Belichick doesn't have a job. Any team in the league could have hired him this offseason. Nobody did. I have a hard time thinking that's going to be the move if things go bad this year. Maybe it will. Maybe I'm wrong. I just can't envision it. I don't think it's a Lurie. Obviously, you look into this.
Sure.
I mean, if the winningest coach in the history of the NFL comes available and your coach has struggled in this past season, you convene a few meetings and you think about it, but they didn't do it. And a year out of the job, I guess Belichick's going to be on TV. We'll see how this goes. We'll see what kind of job he gets after this season. I would think it would be a really downtrodden franchise that's going to give him personnel control.
Sure.
And I don't know that that's going to work. How many Super Bowl winning coaches have gone somewhere else and done it? Don Shula?
Yeah, it certainly doesn't happen. Exactly. Yeah.
Things like this just don't. They sound good, but is he going to bring Tom Brady out of retirement if he comes to the Eagles?
And so, do you think this is more of a media creation this year? Like for instance,
I don't know that it's a media creation, but I just don't think when push comes to shove, if they're making a coaching decision in January or February, that'll be on the board. But there'll be something else bright and shiny that's
Ben Johnson or
that's not 73 years old. That's my feeling.
We all silly like the mayor.